Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Snipess bringing you another YouTube video. Here for the first time on the channel as an extended video, we have an Xdefiant video. I've gotten so many questions on how to do movement in Xdefiant while streaming. So with that said, sidebar, my stream will be down in the description down below. So you guys can come hang out Monday through Friday, answer a bunch of questions in that Twitch chat. So if you still have questions after this YouTube video about movement, you can come on in there every single weekday. I'll be streaming during the day, so you guys can come on in there, ask me questions. I will hopefully answer them as best as possible. With that said, I've had a lot of trouble making this YouTube video because sometimes it's pretty hard to explain how to do movement in a game like Xdefiant, where movement is almost like 80% of the game, and I would say the rest of it is what build you run on each gun, and then obviously the rest of that is your aim, and you know what weapon you're actually using. So I've had a lot of trouble making this YouTube video because a lot of the time when I'm doing movement, I am basically confusing myself while I'm playing the game on what I want to do for movement. But I'm going to do the best I can here and kind of explain the basics of movement and how I do movement. And then I'll leave some clips at the end of the video where you can see all of the things I'm going to talk about here in some clips and see how I actually do it. Also, with that said, throughout the video, at any point, even in all the clips, you'll be able to look in the top left and see my controller and the inputs I use on my controller. You'll be able to see all of those, so you can kind of mimic them and redo them in your own way. Really cool thing about Xdefiant is movement isn't very linear. There are things that make it very linear, but then at the other side of that, you can mix up movement and put all the pieces that I'm going to explain in this video together and change them up in every single gunfight, because every single gunfight isn't the exact same every single time you go at it. So with that said, we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to talk to you guys about the literal basics and go through what I use to do movement, and then the rest of it is up to you guys to kind of practice, but also mix and match all these pieces of movement into your own gameplay. All right, everybody, so I've obviously been here in the training area to do this. This is probably my favorite area in the training area to practice this specific movement and all these bits and pieces of movement, and you'll see why here soon. But we're going to start off with the literal basics, and that's slide canceling. This is probably the movement that I use literally the most at all times, that and jump spamming, which we'll go over here in a moment. But I digress. We're going to start off with slide canceling. Slide canceling in this game is so unbelievably easy. Anybody can do it. But just know that when you see this click, which you can see up there right now, that is me pressing my sprint button. And then B is my crouch. A is my jump. So with all that said, let's get into slide canceling. So slide canceling, so you're obviously sliding, but to cancel the slide and to get yourself able to get into that gunfight a little bit quicker, you just jump. It's really easy. You jump out of your slide and you're into the gunfight. It gets rid of the small delay as you're sliding to be able to shoot. You're able to come up and shoot immediately. So that is slide canceling. Slide canceling is really easy. You can do this all over the map, and you'll be able to pair this with all the other movement that I'm going to show you here in this video as well. So this is just slide canceling. So to build onto slide canceling, you can kind of give yourself a little bit more of a movement edge in slide canceling. So to start your jump spam, so obviously jump spam is just jumping, right? After 3 jumps, you get this whole pattern kind of thing going on where your weapon kind of falls off all over the place and has a sporadic aim pattern that you really can't control. It's also the same thing for crouch spamming. So obviously crouch spamming is the same thing. When you're not zoomed in, you don't see it, but when you are, you see it prominently, right? So also you get jump fatigue in your jump spam. So I believe that's after 4. So 1, 2, 3, and now we are in this just much shorter hop. So that would be your jump fatigue. So with that all said, so to get yourself a little bit more movement out of that slide cancel, which by the way, slide canceling does reset your jump spam and your jump fatigue. So using slide canceling in a gunfight is a really good idea. So let's go into this extra movement out of slide canceling. So you slide cancel and then jump. So you slide cancel and jump. So you get a little bit of an extra boost, and it also allows you to start your jump spam a little bit earlier. You can kind of pair this with strafing. So like that way I strafe backwards. This way I strafe forwards. I strafe left and, well, that was right. And then I strafe left. So you're able to pair that into starting your jump spam. So your slide cancel and your jump spam, you do get, well, I'm in jump fatigue. So 1 second, let me just run around here and reset this jump fatigue. Okay, so we reset the jump fatigue, we go, and you get a little bit of an extra boost out of your slide cancel. So you're able to jump spam out of your slide cancel. It gives you a little extra movement. This is how I start a lot of fights, and it's how you're able to kind of ego chow players. So we'll get into that in a moment, but so I use this a lot to get in and out of gunfights, or start gunfights, or get myself to a good position to get into a gunfight, and to get myself to different locations on the map. So from slide canceling and from jump spamming and doing that whole movement all the way through, say there's a player in this location, right? They're shooting at you and you're not ready to get into the gunfight. You obviously slide cancel out of the gunfight because you're trying to get out of it and make your movement as sporadic as possible. This is our wall. We're hiding behind the wall now. This is how I typically like to re-engage my gunfights. So obviously slide cancel and then start my jump spam. So you're able to hit that jump and strafe the opposite way, which kind of messes up their aim, or continue that way if you want to keep moving left. You're able to do this and back up, right? You're able to do this and jump just straight forward, just straight. So you're able to do that whole strafing movement from the wall out, forward, backwards, left, right, whichever way you want to go. That covers the basics there on slide canceling. That would be ego chowing, so ego chowing out of the wall, moving around from there. We're gonna go on to a little bit more of a harder movement that also pairs into slide canceling. The things that you can clamber onto or mantle onto, however you want to say it, depending on if you're coming from Halo or COD. So you'll hear me say clamber a lot. Just know that I mean mantle. So things like this you can clamber onto and you would stand up on top of it. But there's a small window where you can clamber onto something and you can jump off of it right as you're getting ready to hit that landing spot. You can see where I'm kind of glitching. So right there where my weapon fully comes up, that little glitch, that small little hesitation, in between that, you're able to jump off of that clamber and strafe out of it into more movement. So I'll show you that right now. So into that and then strafe, right? So into this and strafe. Sprinting out of it, even better. You get a little bit more distance. You're able to re-engage a gunfight. Instead of slide canceling out of it, you can hit that, start that jump spam. You can see I kind of vaulted out off that there. But you can pair this also with slide canceling. So you can go here and slide cancel. I missed it because I don't have auto sprint on. Slide cancel into this location. I can go here, off to this. We can go and then back. That's all. That's that. Resets a lot of your movement. So there I even got a further jump out of it. So then you can pair that with also starting your jump spam, getting that extra little strafe in. You can go here and then back. This is probably the hardest movement that I've had to try to learn personally, and I think it is a little bit harder for most people to try to learn. This finding this sweet spot in it just before that little glitchy area, as I mentioned. So like there I see it, like I started on this barrel, but because I'm looking this way, even if I don't move, it moves me anyway. So that little punch out just before that, if you hit it perfectly, you're gonna get that extra strafe, so you can kind of even come back and start another strafe. So this is kind of what I meant again, reiterating that a lot of the movement in this game is you just changing it up, mixing it up, trying to confuse the other player, but also like almost kind of confusing yourself in the same time. So so that's kind of the start and of a movement tutorial that I can think of One more piece of movement that I use, again, way too much, and it kind of throws players off, is something that I believe a lot of people have called snaking. So I'll give credit to the person who showed me my movement originally. So it'd be Zii, who showed me my the movement that I like to use. So this was his technique. This is what he figured out, and I've just kind of built onto it with other movement. So snaking. So snaking is really easy. I like to look down and do it. It makes the movement a little bit more direct, but you can look up and do it. So you can add this in with slide canceling. So it's literally just looking left and right. It's literally just doing this. But sometimes the ADS and the like mouse and keyboard players can't get it, but also like sometimes controller players have an issue with the tracking of it. So it allows you to say I'm reloading, getting this whole movement in, and now I'm reloaded and ready to re-challenge. I hit a slide cancel there, as you saw, to start that movement. You can kind of do that to like that barrel. So if I did this, I'm reloading, I'm canceling the reload, hitting that jump, and into some movement. Again, you can pair all these with so much other stuff. So I just wanted to get into snaking really quick. Again, this is the spot that I really like to practice this in. Obviously, I've shot this target already, but there's a target right here that pops up that you're able to get into. So you can actually even do that movement off like a fence as well. So like this is a fence. I missed it. That's a fence. So I still hit it there. I don't think I can get off on this one. So I'm gonna leave a bunch of clips here at the end of this video here. So I missed the slide. So that you'll be able to look at, and then I'll also make another YouTube video later on showing you guys what my movement settings are, what settings I use in my game to make movement just a little bit easier for me. But with that said, no more ranting, no more rambling on anymore. That is the basics of movement. I will send you guys off to go watch a bunch of the clips that I've compiled in the past week or more, again, on my Twitch stream, which again is down in the description down below. So come hang out, come get to see all these cool clips and see more. If you guys like the video, please leave a like. If you guys want to see more Xdefiant content, I make a bunch of shorts here on YouTube, but also make a bunch of TikToks, so you guys can go check that out. Again, TikTok will be down in the description down below. Shorts, you guys can go over to my channel and watch the shorts of me just doing some of this movement in more videos. So, all right. So without further ado, send you guys over to some clips. Oh my lord.
I know. Can't handle watching me. Makes me all horned up.
He has 3 days.
My lord. Okay, dude.